I truly love the Advent and the Christmas season. I mean, I really do. And I couldn't wait to get everything set up in our house for Christmas. But let me let you in on just one little thing. I'll be honest with you here. We actually started setting up Christmas right after Halloween. And here's why. I just couldn't wait. I don't know what it was. I knew that Melanie and I would be kind of busy during the month of November. And so it was going to creep up on us. And I wanted to enjoy all of the things that are the Christmas season as we set up for it. So I couldn't wait. And I decided we were going to set up early. And I can hear the moaning. I can hear the people saying, oh, no, no, you can't do that until after Thanksgiving. But just cut me some slack here. I just had to do it because I love it. I love the anticipation. I love the excitement of Christmas. I love all my decorations. It's just a wonderful time of the year for me. It's also a time of great promise. And we know that because throughout Scripture, we associate the season of Advent not just with the season of waiting, but also with the season of waiting for a promise. It's a time of great promise. And I was drawn this week to the words of Isaiah chapter 11, beginning at verse 1. Let me read just the first 5 verses of this. It says this: A root shall come out of the stump of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of its roots. The Spirit of the Lord shall rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. His delight shall be in the fear of the Lord. He shall not judge by what his eyes see, or decide by what his ears hear, but with righteousness he will judge the poor, and decide with equity for the meek of the earth. He shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he shall kill the wicked. Righteousness shall be his belt around his waist, and faithfulness the belt around his loins. I mean, this is such a great word of promise, and it's promising actually in some ways two different things. It's a promise that we as Christians believe is the promise of the coming of Jesus. This stump from the root of Jesse ties the coming of Jesus to King David. But there's also some talk about righteousness around his waist and around his belt. You know, that some people look to and they say, this is really also talking about the coming of John the Baptist, who announced the approach of Jesus. And so we as Christians read into this Isaiah passage, this promise that Jesus is coming, the Messiah is coming. And it is a great promise for us. It's a promise that we see as fulfilled on Christmas Day when we celebrate the birth of Jesus. That is such a wonderful time. It was this time of promise and a time for us as Christians, the realization of that promise. But here's the thing that maybe you don't know. When Isaiah was writing, it was quite a few years before Jesus was actually born, who we as Christians believe was the Messiah, the promise from Isaiah 11. You know how many years passed between when Isaiah was writing and the time of when Jesus was born? About 700 years. You see, you talk about a time of waiting, 700 years. You know, the whole country of the United States is just over 200 and some years. 700 years. That's how long before the coming of Jesus from the time of this promise. And so, you know, for us, when we think about the season of Advent, we think about the season of waiting and the celebration of the renewal or the realization of this promise. It's a great time for us to celebrate. But think about what it was like to wait 700 years. That's a long wait. See, for us, we see fulfillment. For those who came before us, before the time of Jesus, it was a long period of waiting. But let me read the next part of this. So here's the very next part of this passage. So this is all a part of the what's labeled as the coming of the peaceful kingdom. And we see that fulfillment in Jesus, but then listen to this part. The wolf and the lamb, the leopard shall lie down with the kid. The calf and the lion and the fatling together, and a little child will lead them. The cow and the bear shall graze, the young shall lie down together. The lion shall eat straw like the ox. The nursing child shall play over the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the adder den. They will not hurt or destroy on the holy mountain, for the earth will be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the earth. I mean, do you hear that? The wolf and the lamb lying down together, the leopard lying down with the kid, the calf and the lion and the fatling coming together. Do we see any of that happening yet? I mean, what we see today is division and war and strife. We don't see this peaceable kingdom that Isaiah was talking about. It's been 2,000 years plus since the coming of Jesus, and that part of this promise has not been realized yet. So you see, that's really the fullness of the Advent season. It's a season of promise and a season of waiting, a season of fulfillment, and a season of longer waiting. So when we celebrate Advent, it is a wonderful time for us to give joy and thanks for the way in which God is intersected our world. The Word becomes flesh and dwells among us, and we celebrate Jesus as the Son of God, the one who was given by God to bring hope to the world. But we also wait. We wait for the continued time of the coming of the kingdom. This is the fullness of the Advent season. This is the season that we are in now.